Hi, welcome back. Today I'm here to review a video that I made last year where I talked about my most anticipated reads of 2018. I have not gone back and watched this video at all. I don't even remember what exactly I put on there or how many books I put on there, but I thought it would be interesting to go back and rewatch it with you guys and talk about whether I actually read all of the books that I put on that list, and if I did, what I thought of them. So let's go ahead and check this out. Okay, so I found the video, finally, and I realized that it's not quite as expansive as I was thinking. This is my most anticipated releases for the first part of 2018, so I think this goes up to April. It's not going to be for the whole year, but I'm still really curious to see what I was most excited about, what I said were my most anticipated things, so let's go ahead and take a look.
Most of these are books that are releasing in the first 2 or 3 months of the year.
Okay.
These are things I have advance copies for, things that I have pre-ordered, stuff that I'm really excited to see come out.
Okay, so this is going to be, I guess, a mix of stuff that I'm excited to read and pre-ordered and stuff that I have arcs of, which I don't think I had as many arcs in general at this point, so I'm really curious to see what makes the list.
The first book that I want to tell you about is one that I mentioned in a wrap-up. This is the only book of these that I have already read, but it is one that I definitely recommend picking up. This releases on January 18th, and that is Reign of the Fallen by Sarah Glenn Marsh.
Okay, yes, so Reign of the Fallen, obviously I had read it when I talked about this. I think Reign of the Fallen is fantastic. I actually just finished reading the sequel, which came out this year, Song of the Dead. Both are wonderful. If you're looking for queer fantasy, this is a great place to go. The main character is a bisexual necromancer, and the world building is on point. The characters are fantastic. There's like quirky, fun things that I like about the world, but it also gets into some really heavy issues like addiction and grief that are really effectively done, especially for a YA book. So yeah, I definitely stand behind this choice.
The next book is one that I'm planning to read this month and I'm definitely excited about the more I hear about it, and that is Everless by Sarah Holland.
Okay, yeah, Everless. I was so excited about this, everyone was. And you know, it went on to do really well. This was a huge bestseller. I think I gave this book like 3 or 3.5 stars. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't what I was hoping for. I think the premise was really interesting. The world was really interesting. The character I found to be pretty annoying, to be perfectly honest. She made so many dumb decisions, and it often felt like they were decisions intended to further the plot rather than decisions that made sense for her character. And I just I don't know, she was like one of those too dumb to live heroines, and it was not for me. But I did think the premise was very cool. This idea of time literally being turned from your blood into money that you can spend, and it dealt with wealth inequality. So I thought that part of it was cool, which is why it was like 3.5 stars for me, but it wasn't a favorite.
Next up is another January 18th release, and you guys, I'm so excited for this one. Everything I've heard has been like rave reviews. I cannot wait to pick this up, and I will be very soon. It is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black.
Okay, yeah, so everybody loved Cruel Prince. I very much liked Cruel Prince. I'm not one of the biggest fans of it. I want to say I gave it like 4 or 4.5 stars, so it wasn't a favorite of the year for me, but I did like it. I thought it had a lot going for it. I liked the way it addressed bullying. I liked the fact that it was this sort of brutal main character. There was a lot to like here, so this deserved to be on a most anticipated list, even if it didn't end up being a favorite of the year for me. I completely understand why it was for a lot of other people, and I do want to pick up The Wicked King sometime relatively soon.
The next book I want to talk to you about that releases in January is Zenith. This is book 1 in the Andromeda Saga. This is a young adult science fiction novel. It will release on January 6th.
Okay, yeah, Zenith. Lindsay Cummings and Sasha Alsberg. I went to the New York City signing for this. I still have not read it. I do own it. I'm nervous, guys. I mean, you saw the reviews were so mixed. There were so many negative reviews. I have seen some people say that they liked it. I suspect that it might be like a 3-star read or something. I don't really know. I really should get around to picking it up and reading it. I do have it on my shelves. You know, just the things that have come out with it have made me a little nervous. So it's so interesting to see that this was on the list.
And the last book that I want to talk about, releasing in January, actually releases January 2nd. You guys know this has to be on my list. It's one of my favorite authors, but
Oh, I think I know what this is.
is writing a Batman novel. I'm super excited about this. This is one I've actually pre-ordered, and you guys, I actually splurged and pre-ordered the UK special edition. I will put a picture right here because it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
I'm super excited.
Okay, yeah, so this is beautiful. Have I read it yet? No. You guys know I've been really slacking on these, but I did finally read Wonder Woman Warbringer last month, and I just got Batman onto my Overdrive app, so it is in my queue. I will be reading it soon. I do love Marie Lu, and the book is beautiful. But did I read this one? No, this is not one that I've read. So we've got 3 I read, 2 I haven't so far. It's not terrible.
About February releases, because you guys,
Okay, moving on to February.
Good ones releasing in February. The first one is one that, oh my gosh, everything I've seen about it, I'm like so excited to get my hands on it. It's The Bells by Danielle Clayton. I have been seeing so much buzz about this book.
Okay, yes, The Bells. I have read, and I really, really liked it a lot. I think I gave it 4 stars. It wasn't the perfect book for me, but I was definitely a fan. I love the world. I like a lot of the characters. I wasn't really into the love interest portion of it, but I love what she's doing and the way that she's unpacking the ways that we think about beauty. Yes, have read that. So there we go, 4 and 2. This is like going decently well. This was a good one.
Next up is the next installment in the Truth Witch series by Susan Dennard, Sight Witch. I'll put a picture right here. The cover is gorgeous, you guys. Gorgeous. I'm finally reading Wind Witch. I'm about halfway through it. I'm loving it. I loved Truth Witch. This one is a shorter story. It's kind of...
Okay, yeah, so I'll stop it there. Yes, Sight Witch, you guys know I am a huge Witchlands fan. I love Susan Dennard. I love the Witchlands. Sight Witch was phenomenal. I read it twice last year. I read it and then I reread the entire series. And I'm so excited for Blood Witch. It's probably my most anticipated book of the year. I highly recommend this series. I just think it's so great. It is YA, high fantasy, told through multiple character perspectives. It's the kind of book that gets better on a reread because she leaves nuggets and Easter eggs that only really makes sense once you've already read some of what happens. So I just love them more the more that I read them. I think they're brilliantly done, and I'm a huge fan of this series.
Susan Dennard is amazing and her world building is so good. She's the best. Next up, Ashley Poston is releasing a new book and it's called Heart of Iron. I don't know a whole lot about it. I loved Geekerella.
Okay, yeah, so this is another one I haven't read yet. Oh, I feel so bad too. It is loosely an Anastasia retelling set in space. There have been mixed reviews of it, but I did really love Geekerella. In general, I like Ashley Poston. This is one that I want to get to, guys, and I don't know why I haven't been able to pick it up yet. I need to read this one. Okay, so what are we at? So that makes like 3 of these that I haven't read so far, which is not terrible, but yeah, this is one that I have not picked up yet. Yikes.
Another book coming out in February is Tempests and Slaughter by Tamora Pierce. This is a new installment in the world of Tortall. If you guys have been watching a lot of my videos for a while, you might know that I grew up reading the Song of the Lioness Quartet, and I loved it.
Okay, yeah, I haven't read this one. I have not read this one. Yes, Tamora Pierce was definitely a childhood favorite. I do love the world of Tortall. I do eventually want to read it, but nobody was talking about it, and I've just had so many other things to read, and yeah, this one should be on my radar. I had forgotten that I would have put this on the list in the first place. Shoot. Okay. Yeah, so that's 4 that I haven't read. I forgot about that one. I do own it. Like,
final book I want to talk about that's releasing in February is one I have an arc for that I haven't read yet, but it's called Honor Among Thieves by Rachel Kane and Anna Guer, and this one sounds super interesting. It is a science fiction novel about a young criminal who's recruited to join an honors space program.
yes, okay, I did read this one, and I gave it 5 stars. I really liked it. I thought it did some really interesting things. It wasn't super popular. A lot of the ratings it got were not that high, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting. They go into space inside this ship that is actually sentient. Like, it is a large being that can make space for people to live inside itself. It's like really, really interesting about relationships and different species. I liked this one. I thought it was great.
The last book I'm going to talk to you guys about today is one that's releasing April 3rd. This is also the only book on this list that's not a young adult book. It's a romance novel, but I just think it's going to be super fun to read. It's called My Lady's Choosing by Kitty Curran and Larissa Zagaris. And this is a choose-your-own-adventure romance novel, you guys, which I just think is hilarious and brilliant. I'm really excited to have an arc. This is one of those books that I've been really wanting to pick up. I just need one of those days where I want something light and fun to dig into, where I will definitely be checking this out.
Okay, yes, so I did read this one. Okay, I did pretty good with this. So My Lady's Choosing is very fun. I think it's particularly entertaining if you read a lot in the romance genre, because it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek handling of a lot of different tropes. And yeah, this was very entertaining. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so not terrible. What was that? There were like 4 or 5 that I didn't read out of all of the ones that I talked about for early last year. Not too bad. Some of the ones that I read weren't as good as I was hoping they were going to be, but some of them were fantastic. So yeah, this was kind of interesting. Let me know what you guys think. It's interesting to see what I put on this list and like maybe what my thinking was, because I think my list this year is pretty different and obviously much larger and more expansive. I think I'm much more tapped into what's coming out. I've got a better handle on the sorts of things that I enjoy, and definitely this was mostly YA, and I had made it a goal last year to start reading more than just YA and read more nonfiction and literary fiction and adult fiction. I did that really effectively, and so now I'm more aware of releases that are happening in those spheres as well. So anyway, I thought this was interesting. I will at some point in this video have linked up above this original video if you guys want to go check it out, and then also I have my video of my 40 most anticipated reads for 2019, which I will link up above if you haven't seen it yet, if you want to see kind of what is the difference, what things am I putting on my TBR for this year. Talk to me in the comments down below. Let me know any of your thoughts. Have you guys read these? Do you have thoughts or feelings? Do you get to all the books that you think you're excited about reading, or are there things that sort of fall by the wayside? Let me know what you think. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.